Lungu has announced that HIV testing, counselling and treatment is now compulsory in Zambia. The head of state says that government is taking steps aimed at making Zambia an AIDS-free country by 2030. He says that the strategy, which has replaced voluntary counselling and testing, has prioritized the fight against HIV by ensuring people know their status. President Lungu said this in Lusaka today when he launched the inaugural HIV and AIDS counselling, testing and treatment day commemoration under the theme Test and Treat towards ending AIDS. The president also says that there is no need to wait for people to fall sick before they can start life-saving treatment. President Lungu also tasked Minister of Health, Chilufya, to find ways of compelling men to know their status. He says most women who access antenatal services are tested for HIV, but their partners are not. Michael Kaumba reports.
This was the presidential chopper touching down at the Olympic Youth Development Center in Lusaka. President Edgar Lungu arrived to applause at the center. The head of state was a guest of honor at the launch of the National HIV/AIDS Counselling, Testing and Treatment Day, which is meant to replace the voluntary counselling and testing VCT. President Lungu went around OIDC to check on the happenings and underwent medical checkups. And addressing the gathering, President Lungu outlined his government strategy on HIV/AIDS by revealing that testing for the disease is now compulsory.
My position was that no one has got the right to take his own life. No one has got the right to take another person's life. Therefore, we make sure that we protect life in Zambia, generally across the board. So just as we test for malaria, we don't consult you to consent whether we're testing or screening for malaria. We do the same for HIV testing. And we'll counsel you and tell you that you have got this problem. You need to embark on treatment. That is what we're going to do. That's the official Zambian position. President
Lungu also reviewed measures that government is implementing to combat HIV, including the self-testing HIV/AIDS kits.
To urge all Zambians to embrace HIV self-testing, as this will enable us reach the underserved members of our society. So, Doc, we should ensure that these self-testing HIV kits reach the rural parts of Zambia very, very quickly.
The United Nations Resident Coordinator, Janet Rogan, is concerned that some people on HIV treatment are being misled into stopping medication by unscrupulous people.
Stigmatization is cruel, bigoted, immoral, despicable. It leads people into hopelessness and desperate behaviors. It drives them to believe nonsense preached by ignorant people who deceive them into believing that they can be physically cured of the virus by various means, by praying, for example, and that they can stop, therefore, taking their medication.
The United States government is a major contributor of funds to the fight against HIV/AIDS in Zambia and has pledged more support.
The United States government and its citizens are strongly committed to partnering with Zambia for an AIDS-free generation. Through the President's Emergency Response for AIDS Relief, more commonly known as PEPFAR, the United States has been and continues to be the largest donor and partner to Zambia's national HIV response.
Health Minister Chilufya and Lusaka Province Minister Jafin Mwakalombe also spoke at the event.
Your Excellency, you are commanding war against HIV/AIDS. Today, you gather all of us here, and Your Excellency, you've sounded the war drums, and your legacy is shaping. Your Excellency, you are a global leader in the fight against HIV/AIDS.
As Lusaka Province that is hosting this national event, we sincerely thank you for your unwavering support and commitment to this noble fight.
The National HIV/AIDS Counselling, Testing and Treatment Day will now be commemorated on August 15th every year. Government expects that this new strategy on fighting HIV/AIDS will help make Zambia an HIV/AIDS-free